And good morning, Lashana Tova. So my name's Don Cogan, and as Rabbi mentioned, I'm a past president of Temple Beth, and we hope you've been enjoying the services this high holiday with Rabbi Mark and Rick and Adi. I know we all have. It's just been terrific. I want to talk with you a few minutes about Temple Beth and where the board of directors see the upcoming months. Now, I'm one of these people who can sort of remember things more like with visual images. So I'm kind of a sci-fi person. And whenever I think of like those Martians in sci-fi, I think of three eyes in their head. Well, so the three eyes that I will be referring to with this and thinking about are three things: improvements, investment, and involvement. So let's talk about improvements first. Now, if you've come to Temple Beth for Kol Nidre, you've been by, you notice something a little bit different in the central court. It's been repaired. The pergola has been repaired and repainted. And not only that, if you look at the ground underneath, it's been changed over from this low maintenance wood chips, and we don't have that grassy weeds, or was it weedy grass that we used to have. Well, the fact that we had all that underneath showed it was getting a lot of use, but after a while it kind of looked like a cow stampede. So it looks a lot better now that we're having that type of surfacing. And right after Sukkot, all of the wrought iron gates that we see and the railings, you'll see those repainted. Now there's other items, of course, that need repair and improvement, and we'll be looking at that closely by the board, and we'll be attending to those in the near future when they come up and when they're needed. Now, we were very fortunate. We've been gifted by a property management company that'll assist us in the everyday repair and maintenance, and there's no management charge. There might be a minimum charge if they have to overall manage the project, but we're really benefiting from their assistance. Now, of course, improvement isn't just a physical building. It's also building a better situation from where we are now, continuous improvement. Now, that's not to say what we have now is bad in any way. It just means that we can always continue to make it better. So let's look at a key example. That's what we're doing this year with our children's education. We started with the new program last year with free education. And we're continuing that free education this year for members of our congregation. And we have heavily to thank Jennifer Twitchell for developing the program. Now, for personal reasons, Jen had to resign as the director of education, but we're really pleased and fortunate that she was able to pass the baton on, so to speak, to Sandy Jacobson, who is a teacher at TBA. So this year, we're improving our program. We have listened to our parents, and we're making strides in person teaching this year, different programs to make our children more involved and more interested. So let's look at that second I, if you will, investment. Harvey Kale, who is Temperature Beth Ami, spoke last week about investing in our children and making a donation to their education. Now, we have a member of the synagogue, of our temple, that's committed to matching dollar for dollar donations to Temple Beth for education. So every dollar becomes $2. Money that's donated will purchase education material for the school and other items that Sandy feels that we feel needed for the children. Now you can do that by mailing in a check, just put education in the memo space, or you can take the technology approach and go online through a website and indicate the donations for education. Let's look at involvement. Yes, we want you, harken back to the old Uncle Sam thing, we want you to be involved in Temple Beth Ami. And this year, with the new board of directors, there's new visions in how we can get our members involved. And one thing right off the bat that we're starting is a monthly speaker series. And this first one will be on Sunday afternoon. That's when we're looking. And we're actually planning a presentation just on October 17th, just a little over a month from today, will be a presentation by Nancy Troxell Carnahan on the different areas that we should know about owning a home, selling a home property, because there's some new change of landscape in how if you sell a home or you move to a different area that's a lot more beneficial than it has been in the past. And she'll talk about some other areas that are really important, whether you're currently living in a home to be safer or whether you're planning a move for different reasons, being close to the family, what have you. So take a look. We're going to be having all this information coming up on the e-blast and on the calendar, so mark those calendars. And subsequently, as we go forward, on this Sunday afternoon, we'll plan to have those during the same Sunday each month to make it a little bit easier to plan for. We'll have other topics coming up as well. And we're certainly interested among our members, as well as guests, to have topics that you feel might be of interest to the synagogue, and we'll be doing some surveying on that as well. Now, as mentioned last week, we'll be reaching out to congregants when we need assistance in things like building the sukkah, assisting at Onag after Friday night services, and more things coming up. So when you get that request for you, please say, hey, yes, I can assist. And lastly, we want to keep you informed of what's happening at Temple Beth Ami. Each week, an e-blast goes out to the members of our congregation and those who are interested in our congregation as well. If you notice this week's e-blast, on the bottom, we're adding a calendar of events. So we'll continue to update that calendar and do it as a rolling 2-month calendar, so you'll be able to see and be aware of what Temple Beth Ami is doing and how you can participate, how you can get involved. And lastly, a reminder that we do have a member of our temple, again, that's not only matching this month, dollar for dollar donations for education, but for all other donations, dollar for dollar. So please, you can either mail a check in, indicate donation, general fund, or education, or the rabbi's discretionary fund, or go online, technology there, and you can donate using the credit card. So I want to thank all of you for being here and wish you Lashana Tova and an easy fast.